Hi friends, today we are going to be making our Frankenstein collage. So the first thing we are going to do, like always, is write our name and class code on the back of our big black piece of paper. And then we're going to flip it over. You are going to get your black piece of paper, 2 small pieces of green, and 1 small piece of white paper to make our collage. So to start, we're going to take one of our little green rectangles and we're going to make it horizontal. Horizontal means left to right, so it's not going to be vertical, up and down, horizontal, left to right. And we're going to start by gluing that at the bottom of our black piece of paper. Now you can either use liquid glue or stick glue. If you choose to use liquid glue, to open it, you are going to twist the orange cap until it creates a little gap here. So closed, the orange is touching the white, opened, there's a little gap here, and we should be able to hear it. And then to close it, when we're all done with our project, we're going to twist until that orange touches the white again. It needs to be closed by the end of your project. I'm just going to use some stick glue for this. So I'm going to go over the edges. If you're using liquid glue, you're just going to put 4 dots on your green rectangle. For the stick glue, I'm going to go all around the edges, then I'm going to put an X in the middle. That way it really sticks down. Then I'm going to flip this and I'm going to make sure it's lined up with the bottom. We don't want any black showing off the bottom. And we have 1 piece stuck on. Next, we need to make his head. So we're going to take our second green piece, and you're going to use a pencil, but I'm going to use a Sharpie just so you can see it on the video, and we're going to put this one vertical. So again, horizontal is side to side, vertical is up and down. We want it vertical, and we are going to make a rainbow line at the top there, and we're going to cut along that rainbow line. So now I have my rainbow line cut out. I'm gonna flip this over. This will be the bottom of our Frankenstein's chin. And then I'm going to draw a line across the face. So we're gonna find about the middle of our Frankenstein's head, and we're gonna go like 2 fingers below that middle, and we're gonna draw a line across. And then I'm gonna cut along this line. So now I have his head and his jaw, and of course we're gonna put glue on the sides with our pencil lines or my Sharpie lines, but we're not gonna glue it down quite yet. So we have this white piece of paper. We're going to fold this in half. This is how we're gonna get all of the details for our Frankenstein's face, like the eyes and the bolts. And I'm folding in half, that way I can cut out 2 at the same time. So for my Frankenstein, he needs some eyes, so I'm going to do my best to draw a circle. I'm going to cut these out for his eyes. So now I have 2 circles, and I'm going to glue those down now. And you can glue yours however you want. You can have them perfectly lined up like this. You can have them all crazy like this. You can have them really wide or really close together. It is up to you, but make sure you put glue on the side with your pencil lines and stick it down. And if you're using a glue bottle, you only need 1 dot of glue for these eyes. Now I need some bolts for my Frankenstein. So on the open edge, so where my paper can open, I'm gonna draw 2 vertical lines. That means straight up and down lines. And then I'm gonna give it a curved top, kind of like a mushroom. And then I'm gonna cut these ones out. So now I have 2 bolts that will go on either side of his head. The last detail we need is some teeth because his mouth will be open. So I'm just gonna cut out some rectangles. Now I have all these little teeth. So now we can start gluing the pieces of his face down. So the first thing will be his jaw, and I want his jaw to be kind of open like this. So I'm gonna flip it to the side that has my Sharpie lines. I'm gonna stick it down and it's gonna overlap that first rectangle we put down. Now we can add in his teeth. Now you can line these up with this line, or you can kind of tuck them behind. I'm tucking them right behind the green, and I'm gonna pause there. Now I'm gonna glue down the top of his head. So on the side with the Sharpie lines, or your pencil lines, I'm gonna go around the edges, and then I'm gonna make an X, and I'm gonna stick it down so that this part overlaps the corner of his mouth. Like that, and then I can see if I need any more teeth. So I think I can fit 2 more little teeth. Then I just need to add his bolts. So I'm gonna make sure I'm on the side with my pencil or Sharpie lines. And I'm gonna slide it right behind my Frankenstein's head. And these should be close to his jaw, because these are the bolts that hold his jaw to his face. So this one will be even lower. That is all the pieces we are going to collage on, but we still have lots more details to add. So you're going to take a Sharpie to add these details. I'm going to start by giving him some pupils. I can give him some eyebrows. He needs some hair. He definitely needs a nose. Maybe I can give him a little scar across his forehead. That is all the details we have to add to our face. Now let's move on to the body. He needs some clothes. So we're gonna start by drawing a circle in the middle. And then we're gonna add a triangle on both sides to make his bow tie, and we're gonna fill this one in. Then we're gonna put a line on this side of his bow tie and a line on this side of his bow tie going all the way down. Then I'm gonna make diagonal out on both sides, diagonal in on both sides, diagonal out on both sides, and then diagonal in all the way to the bottom so that it connects with those first lines that we made. Now the last thing that we're gonna do with Sharpie is we're gonna add some detail lines. And detail lines are just kind of outlining some areas of the Frankenstein's features to make it stand out a little bit more. So you can kind of add these wherever you want. I think that is all the details I'm gonna add to my Frankenstein. You can add whatever extra details you want. If you wanna give him lots of scars on his face, you can. If you wanna give him buttons for his little suit, if you wanna add like a design to his suit, it is completely up to you. You can add whatever details you want at this point. I'm gonna stop here on mine though. Once we are finished adding our details to our Frankenstein, we are going to get a white oil pastel. And this is how we're gonna add our designs to our background. So we are going to add some really, really cool stars inspired by Van Gogh. So to do that, we're gonna make a dot with our white, and then we're gonna make some short little dash lines going around our dot. So I have added a good amount of these little stars. I have some really big stars and some really small stars. Now in this empty space, I'm gonna add a few squiggles to really fill the space and finish up our Frankenstein. And there we have it. Our Frankenstein collage is all finished. So you're going to set this on the drying rack to turn it in.